Hey guys, it's Michael from FireAndBrilliance, and today we'll be talking about prong types. So there are many ways to actually design the head of a ring, but today specifically we're talking about how the prongs will hold the center stone together and different types of prongs, okay? So we're gonna get right into it. So I'll go first over 4 prongs as well as 6 prongs, and there's also 8 prongs and those type of things, but we'll go over these styles because these are most likely the main ones that you will be seeing in the marketplace. All right. So the first one that I want to show you, this is a standard 4-prong setting. Okay. The difference between this one is that if you notice, it's a 2-tone ring. So it's a yellow gold shank and a 4-prong white gold shank. Head, and so it's a V-prong standard. It's very classic and timeless. These types of prongs are very popular. All right. Now, with that said, we can also use 4 prongs for fancy cuts. And all a fancy cut is anything that's outside of a round cut. Okay, so this is an emerald gem, and it's also a 4-prong. The only difference is that it has to work with an elongated gemstone, right? The next one that I kind of want to show you, it's basically also a 4-prong. If you notice here, there's an Asher, also another fancy cut. It's also a 4-prong. Now the difference between this one is that it's a sculptural prong. And what a sculptural prong does is that it kind of hugs and it flushes into the gemstone. So it curves in as it goes down. All right, so if you notice here, it kind of goes in and out. All right, so it goes in and down. So it goes inside and hugs and flushes the inside of the gemstone, as opposed to the regular 4-prong where it just kind of goes like a V, like a V-shaped prong. Now I'll show you another sculptural prong, which is this one. The difference between this 4-prong, which is a standard 4-prong, and this one is that we've made it into a claw prong. So it looks kind of like an eagle claw. Sometimes, depending on specific preferences and taste, we can make the claws very subtle, where it's shorter and wider, and it's just a small tip at the top, or we can make it much more refined like this one and longer, and it really looks like a true claw prong. With that said, here's the last one. Here's a neat one. This is also a 2-tone 14K rose gold shank. It's also a 4-prong, right, head. The difference is that this is actually a head for a square-shaped gemstone or princess cut, but we put a round cut as the center stone. And if you take a look at this here, because it's initially made for a princess cut, we do have these little V-shaped corners to protect the princess cut, typically, but we're using it to set a round cut, and therefore these look like little cat ears, which is really neat and nice. So there's a lot of ways to play around with the prongs. Again, these are a few of the variations. All right. So I want to get into the 6-prong type of head here. Now, here's a standard 6 prongs. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's also on a 2-tone setting: white gold head and a yellow gold shank. All right, 6 prongs, and I'll show you what the difference between this 6-prong and the next is. That this is a pear-shaped 6-prong. Although it's a standard 6-prong for the pear shape, the difference is that a pear is an elongated gem with a rounded top portion of the gem that meets to a center point at the bottom. So this is another really neat prong type. Basically, it's the same as most prongs. The only difference here is that, guess what? They're double prongs. So if you notice here, it kind of splits into 2, or starts off as 2 rather, and then it also ends as 2. So these are double prongs. There's 2 on each edge. All right. It really has 2 components as to why people will choose a double prong. Number 1, obviously, adding more metal around the center stone will obviously secure it some more than having a single prong. It's not necessary, but some people do prefer more of a security thing, while others also love the aesthetic appeal of a double prong as well. So there are 2 prongs on every single corner of the stone, and guess what? You can also do a triple prong or even a quadruple prong, but by that point it may cover the entire gemstone. So typically most people will, if they do like the multi-prong look, they'll go up to 3 prongs at most, if you still want to show some part of the girdle of the center stone. So single prongs are still the most dominant, most popular look and feel. Double prongs are very popular these days as well. Triple prongs are a little more rare, and anything more than that will pretty much cover the entire stone, around the stone, I mean. Hopefully nothing's prong with this video. Psych. Tell us if we're doing something prong. Alright guys, again, this channel, the F&B Geminar, was started just for you. It's to help you guys understand jewelry, how things are designed, what goes into it, from gemstones to design to shapes to prongs to shanks to everything, and hopefully you really enjoyed it. All that we're asking is, if you do enjoy it, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment, tell us exactly what you want to see, hear, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. We can't always do every single scenario, but we will try our best, okay? And I'll see you next time.